never see governor like this before. Lie. That's so. I never see governor like this before. Lie. Everything you promise us, now you do for oh shit. Everything you promise us, now you do for oh shit. Build us, make us good.
So I want you all to give the Mimiko Support Group a round of applause, please. This is not something that comes very easy. It has taken us a whole lot of time and funds and planning, but so far I think we've been able to do a relatively wonderful job. We all appreciate our governor. We are with him all the way. It's not like we don't have things to do, but we have to be here because we truly, really appreciate him, because he's one of the major change agents that we have in Nigeria, and we want others to follow suit with what he is doing in Ondo State.
What were you thinking when you formed the Mimiko Support Group?
Yeah, thank you very much. I said the idea behind Mimiko Support Group go beyond thought of a thing. It's something that is visual. It's something that everybody can see. We look at the next stage, like the person of what he has done and the legacy, what he has left behind that people see and celebrate. And we look at the leader that has taken to that shoe of the late stage in the person of Governor Mimiko. And we saw his program, we saw his policy, we saw his philosophy and the ideas and the ideology that the man encompass and all that. That's say, come, you guys, this man is not just a leader for Ondo State. This is an international leader. This is a leader that we need to project. This is a leader we have to tell people that come. Mimiko is not a governor alone. We must support him. We must go and say, come, this is our governor. This is a person that we have seen as a friend that has the carrying out programs that he was doing, that they still doing. And we felt, come, let us form a group that will continue to celebrate the ideals and the philosophy and celebrate and instill to future generations. So that is why we come together and say, come, let us form Mimiko Support Group.
Well, let me do something. The way I think about the governor is this. Governor personify the real Ondo people. When I talk of Ondo people, I'm not talking of the Ondo town, I'm talking of Ondo State. And when you are talking of Ondo people, they are knowledgeable, they are industrious, they are principled, they are egalitarian people. And if you really want, if I must add more, I have an organization. We call it Egalitarian Mission Africa. All what we are doing egalitarian is that we are talking about equality, human rights, and all this thing is embodiment of the governor. Because when you see Olusegun Mimiko today, you see somebody who is amiable, somebody who wants to reach out, somebody who is very, very passionate to give to the people. And that's why all his project is bottom to the all project. Somebody that said, look, everybody must go to the market. Because of that, he ensured that, because you and I, no matter how sophisticated we are, we must go to that market. He purposely fixed that, let me do it. So because of that, nobody can say, I did not take anything from this thing. And when you're talking of something like education, you can see what we're having, mega schools. And the essence of it at the end of the day is this. Somebody that have done mega project will certainly get a mega vote. And that is the governor for you. And one thing you notice is this, both rich, poor, averagely, you can find him in him, and that is one somebody. And that's why you can see, although we are very critical, when you mention the likes of Gani Freddy Fasheun, Gani Adams, Baba Omojola, myself, and most of all Ondo people, they are very critical. For them to believe that this person should lead them, you should know that that person too must be like them, and that is Olusegun Mimiko for you.
Thank you very much. So you think you should come back the second time?
No, not that I think you should come back. It is apart from being constitutionally required, it's a requirement by the constitution that he must come back. Apart from that, morally, he must come back. Spiritually, financially, socially, everybody. And you can see what happened today. Everybody wants him to come back. It is not even like what I said, and I'm being sincere here. Build up to when he wants to declare. Some people came to me as a lawyer that if the man did not declare his intention to come back, we should go to court for the court to compel him to come back. So it is something that is settled, and you see what will happen come October 12, 2013.
Thank you very much. Sorry, before you go, can you please make a pledge to the governor?
Well, he knew one thing.
Your
it
pledge.
Is true. I will pledge. It is true that Ondo State is working. It is true that Olusegun Mimiko is doing something great. It is true, and it is true that come 20th October 2012, I will vote for Olusegun Mimiko.
The governor has done great investments in our coconut first so far.
So you think you should come back?
Definitely. Without a doubt, if the governor is going to come back for a second time, he's going to have an exciting time. We're going to be fully behind him in Okegbe.
Please welcome with us Barrister Chief Dan Nwayao, National Chairman, Labour Party.
Please, a round of applause for him.
A round of applause for him, please. You're welcome, sir.
Please, a round of applause for Dr. Kola Ademuchimi, the Chief of Staff of Ondo State.
Another round of applause for Dr. Adeyanju, Commissioner for Health.
Let us acknowledge the presence of Mr. Macaulay Iyayi.
Barrister Nasir Hussaini, former Chairman, Nigerian Bar Association, Akure branch.
The SSA to the governor, please. A round of applause for Mr. Goke Adeniyi. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dele Omagbemi, the Ondo State Commissioner at the NDC. Dr. Olu Aguloye, a round of applause for him. Mr. Kayode Akimade, the Commissioner for Information.
We have a whole lot of activities that is lined up for everyone. So we're here to have fun, celebrate people that are working and are making impacts in our generation, in our great nation, and in our great state, Ondo State.
Dr. Mimiko, I had worked with him before he became governor, going to the communities for needs assessment surveys, asking the communities to identify their needs, asking the communities to prioritize their needs, asking the communities now telling you exactly what they want, and exactly what the community wants is what you do.
He's a man that is after every man's heart, a model and a leader that we all look forward to. And we really see him as a model, and he's been trying to shape in all of us. And we look forward to being like him. We will try our best though.
We have seen what he has done for our state. We really appreciate it. And that's why we gather ourselves together to come and support him for his second time.
A man who believes that the poor people should be elevated, the poor people should be settled. I mean, if you get the prayers of the poor people, everything works for you.
Dr. Olusegun Mimiko has cashed her niche for himself. He's trying in entertainment world. He makes us feel there's hope for us. You can see all what he has done to make Ondo State a place of pride.
We would like Honorable Tayo Akinjomo, FCA. He's the Commissioner for Commerce and Industry. So I would like to come and give the opening address. A round of applause for him, please.
Mr. Governor, all other protocol be observed. We are all welcome to this beautiful evening, which is an evening that's supposed to be met, that's supposed to be prepared for meeting with Mr. Governor on the successful and wonderful flag off of the grandmother of all the rallies that has ever happened in our social state. Mimiko Support Group is a group of hardworking young people who are very, very interested in the marketability of our dear Governor, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko. The group was formed some months ago, and we sincerely believe that Mr. Governor should not only be appreciated or marketed for just the next 4 years, but we are looking beyond 4 years for the job of Mr. Governor, which we know will be of a high and immense benefit to the people of Ondo State, to the people of southwestern part of Nigeria, and to the entire people of Nigeria and even Africa as a whole. So we are looking beyond the next 4 years, and that is our focus. Our focus is to project Mr. Governor, to market him, because it's a highly marketable material that has always been recording the first in this part of the world. And that is why Ondo State has now been the benchmark for many things in Nigeria and in Africa.
If you're happy to be here, put your hands together for yourself one more time. Eh? When I look at myself in the mirror every day, I know fine. So what did I do? Even if I ugly, I try to arrange. So my dressing go take the ugly part of me again. So you are free to call me fine. And if you are here, you are hearing a spirit telling you that Omo Baba is your husband. Start claiming it. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here to support our governor. I don't know why we are doing all this, because it is certain that is coming in for the second time. We don't even need to stress ourselves. Mimiko, Kosibo. So, what are we talking about? Why are we bothered? No, when a man is working, he's relaxed. If you're not working, that is when you have problems. The time I discovered that I'm not handsome was when I looked at my mirror at home and my mirror walked away. Due to what I hear about people saying they throw money here, they throw money there, I'm just saying this story. One of the governors in Lagos State, ex-governors then, anytime I see him, I say, Daddy, how are you? So I say, Omo Baba, they will do their hand like this. F1 comes in different shape and size. You have different envelope. Then I get it to palm. The next thing, Omo Baba, F1. Every time I see him, I give. So the day I came to Ondo State to know that the governor is actually working and is not throwing money around anyhow. I now went to our governor. I said, Daddy, good morning, sir. I said, Omo Baba, how are you? Are you paying your tax? I was expecting F1. Really? So this time around, I would like the keyboardist, the backup singer, please just take your stand. What I'm going to do here today, I'm going to mention the name of mostly 95% of them are my friends. So anybody I mention his or her name, mostly he, you just tell me, nah, fine boy. If the person is handsome, you tell me, nah, fine boy. If the person is ugly, you tell me, keyboardist, play on any key. I will look for the padlock. Nah, fine boy. Nah, fine boy. Nah, fine boy. If the person is ugly. Okay, this time around, movie industry, I want to mention actors in our country. I say RRMD. Okay, Ramsinua. Do you remember Desmond Elliot? Nah, fine one. Shegun Harinze. You know where I'm going now? This time around, I want to mention footballers. If you love them, make some noise if you love Nigerian footballers. I say, yo, Joseph, Osaze, Odenwinge. Do you remember Celestine Babayaro? I say, Taiwo. This time around, break it down small. This time around, I want to talk about our ex-president, internationally and locally. I've asked for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Don't worry, enu mi kò ní kú mi sí wàhálà. I know how to go about things like this. I say Bill Clinton, fine boy. Okay, Tony Blair, fine boy. Do you remember Nelson Mandela? Fine boy. What about filling the gap? Use your mouth to say it yourself. I don't mention anybody name. Okay, this time around, comedians in Nigeria, let us mention their name. I say Ali Baba, Jafar Strahunka, my brother Jedidaya, Omo Baba number 1.
Mr. Governor is a very hardworking man, caring, dedicated, committed, and also someone that's transforming lives and looking to leave a legacy, in those states. So I'm proud to be serving under such a great leader.
I'm not surprised what he's been doing in Ondo State. Actually, I was in PDP before I crossed over to him because he's been doing a lot for Akure, the state capital, in Ondo State in general.
He's a versatile governor. He has aggrandized the standard and the progress of he has aggrandized the progress of the standard of the living of the people. Put it that way.
Well, we thank God for the governor, amiable, friendly, humane, loving, kind, fatherly, family man, medical practitioner, politician, wonderful governor, achiever, transformer. We love him in Ondo State.
Olusegun Mimiko, nasa bí ààrẹ eégún, ẹkùn tágìrì gbéra ẹni jà, wàsúùsù wàsàsà, ọ̀nà yẹ́yẹ́ tí dààmú àlejò, bí onílé gan ọ̀bá múra yóò dààmú olúwa rẹ̀, nǹkan ju nǹkan lọ, nàgbànàgbà sàǹsàn Mimiko nu ọ̀pọ̀ ṣoṣo ọ̀nà tí di méjì lójú ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Ìtàkùn tó ní kiri ọmọ gbòkè odò tó ń kiri níjà lọ, káàsà, lájọ́ dúró káàtó dúró, káwá múlò ẹ̀kọ́ kábí lájá lọ́wọ́, ẹ̀wọ́ ẹ̀yà aráàlú wa irọ́ ni, ẹni tó bá Mimiko dupò gómìnà nípínlẹ̀ Ondo èmi ò tí ì rí kòkòrò tí bá yí ní ìlú ọ̀wọ́ bọ̀. Mimiko ní ẹ̀dìbò fún nípínlẹ̀ Ondo kòkòrò onílọ̀dún òkèèrè, ẹ jẹ́ ká yọ tẹ̀sán kúrò. Èèyàn yìí èèyàn àpọ́nlé ní Ṣẹ́gun, ó sì jábábá jọjọ, ó ti jáwé olúborí. Káàsà gẹ́gẹ́gẹ́gẹ́ èkejì ẹkùn àdìrògùn kẹlẹ́bọ mọ́gbó tinitini ọ̀dà jìnnìjìnnì bọ́ máa léjò.
Thank you very much. Let me pay my respects to Dr. Akure. The real Omoluabi himself. Let me also recognize all the chief of staff, all the commissioners in the house, and other top government functionaries, other friends, Mr. Yayi and others from Lagos, from Abuja, and indeed all over the country. And let me also recognize and thank our celebrated artists in the house, the stars amongst us. Thank you for being part of our celebration. Well, let me specifically thank the Mimiko Support Group. I have visited your website, especially the YouTube section. I think perhaps your reciprocity or your you perhaps have the biggest collection of video clip on the web. of my activities. Your activities can only encourage us to continue along the path of service to our people. And a lot of you are young men and women. It encourages us that you can discern and know that what we are trying to achieve is life more abundant for our people. For so long, our people have been shortchanged, as it were, by leaders and those who pretend to be leaders, the people. Most of the challenges that we have as a nation, I dare say, have arisen from acts of omission or commission by our leaders. And if we must create a system that throws up a new generation of leaders, all of you must get actively involved in political process. The saying goes that the people deserve the leaders that they get. If you all decide to get actively involved, especially when it has to do with leadership at every level, then we could be on the path to recovery in the nation, in our nation. Because leadership is very critical. And I always say that the choices that leaders make can make or mar, can to a very large extent determine the status or the station of our people in life. A leader can actually make wrong choices that will affect generations. So it's very important that we get interested in the political process. And when Sheyi told me about this group, I was happy that you put this together. But I must confess that there have been many other groups. But there's something that seems very special about your group. I thank you for putting this together. The social network has turned out to be a very important tool of propagation of ideas and ideals. It is also a very dangerous tool of political blackmail. People paid some people to be on Facebook to shun out falsehood and spin and turn around facts in an attempt to cajole unsuspecting young men and women. And I have seen your activities on the web, that you are very active, because evil triumphs when good men decide to remain silent. That you have not remained silent, and you have raised your voice loud and clear to be heard on the web, in your house-to-house campaign, and by putting up this very beautiful evening, you have shown clearly that you have decided to be engaged in the political process. For me, today is a special day. I thank God Almighty. When we heard our declaration, everybody said, wow, that it was a wonderful event, and they had not seen that type of crowd in the political history of this place. But today, most people testify that what they saw today, in terms of quantum and size of crowd, was about 3 times what we witnessed on the 25th of July this year. it means that things are getting better. As we look forward to October 20, to do justice and translate all this goodwill into actual votes, I have no doubt in my mind that if we can keep the path that we are threading now, that the victory we expect will be landslide and unprecedented in the political history of this country. This election is about Mimiko's governorship second-term ambition. But I dare say that it's bigger than that. It is a struggle between the will and determination of a people to be free and remain free, and the hegemonic design of some pretenders to progressive politics. It is a struggle between dignity and irresponsible use of power and privilege. Of course, it is a struggle between the legacy and a polity, or the politics whose genre has no pedigree that is worthy of any celebration. People have said that what happens in Ondo election October 20 will reverberate across this land with possible political implications that will even outlive the election itself. And that you have remained determined and committed to be part of this process. Something tells me that you are part of history that is about to unfold before all of us. I want to thank you for the confidence that you have reposed in our ability to continue to deliver the goods for our people. Let me assure you again this evening that under no condition will we look back. The Bible tells me that when you put your hand on the plow, if you are fit for the kingdom of God, you do not look back. I also know that if you are involved in a race, especially sprints like 100 meters, after the sound of the gun that indicates that you should go, if you look back for 1 second, you are likely to miss the prize at the end of the day. For me and the crop of leaders that are working with me in Ondo State, we will not look back. We will continue to forge forward. We will continue to forge forward. In a way, we have a burden history on our shoulders. For one, we are the first Labour Party government in Nigeria. And that puts a responsibility on us that is uncommon. I've told people that we are presented with a unique opportunity to translate political theories about progressivism into concrete, practical programs for people to see that even in a unipolar world, in a liberalized, globalized economy, driven by international capital, that there is still room for ideology of the left in government programs. Because whether we like it or not, we must, for us to be able to develop, our growth must be inclusive. We must carry everybody along. That is the path to sustainable development. Our recent history has shown us that political growth does not necessarily translate into development. So when you read in the books, in your economic books, and all the pontification about economic growth, 6%, 7% annual growth, at the same time, poverty is deepening. All the human development indices, maternal mortality, infant mortality getting worse. economic growth does not necessarily translate into development. The type of economic growth that translates into development is an inclusive economic growth that carries everybody along, that ensures that nobody is left behind, that addresses the fundamental human development needs of our people: healthcare, education, old age security, food security, urban renewal, livable environment. That is what we are trying to create in Ondo State in the last 3.5 years. That is what we will continue to create. And Ondo State, that will be a shining example to Nigeria, a parade of prize indeed. I thank you for being part of it. I can see that many faces here were with us today, and in spite of all the energy that we have to put into rejoicing and dancing and waiting and the song for what seemed like endless speeches, we still found time to come and celebrate in a very relaxed atmosphere. I want to thank you. I have said it, and I will not be fair and just to myself and to you if I do not say it again. For me, today is double celebration. Number one, with what we saw in our today, I'm not looking for any further empirical evidence that our people are satisfied with what we have been in the last 3 years. Number two, are satisfied with what we have been in the last 3 years. We got a letter from the United Nations Habitat nominating me on the Scroll of Honor of United Nations. For me, it's an international endorsement of our efforts. For me, I've had the privilege of receiving a lot of awards since I became our governor. Financial Standard, Governor of the Year Award, NUJ Governor of the Year Award, National Association of Nigeria Governor of the Year Award, Civic Leadership Prize for 2011, Tribune Governor of the Year Award, and many more. Yes, the World Bank endorsed Abiy as a template for several in Africa. But for me, the United Nations Habitat Award is a special one. And coming on a special day like this, for me, it is God's own design. And I want to say with no sense of responsibility, by gathered in this hall are many people who have been part of our community effort in the last 9 years. People who have held my hands when weariness set in. People who have even driven like slaves to do work for our people. People whose sleeping hours have reduced to 3-4 hours, 24 hours, to ensure that the goal we set for ourselves gets to right. One of them has told me that there is no sleep until after October 21. I want to thank all of you. Thank all of you. I thank all the artists that performed today. Thank all of you. If there is one area that Nigeria has excelled, it's in creative arts. Look at what in the last 4 or 5 years, what these few merchants have come Nigeria into. It's as if I've always had them. They are now very ubiquitous and every part of our celebration. I celebrate you and thank you for what you have for our nation. Oh, is it Nollywood and theater arts, where again we have proved to the whole world that Nigerians are perhaps the most creative set of human beings that God put on this mother earth. So I celebrate all of you, theater artists and Nollywood stars. You are very great ambassadors of our nation. You represent the very quintessence of the talent that we hope to market and sell to the world. Once again, before I take my seat, I want to thank the Mimiko Support Group again. I want to encourage you to keep working. In this game, common wisdom is it is never over until it is over. Thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful
Mimiko yóò ṣe Mimiko yóò ṣe lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí yóò ṣe. Iṣẹ́ kẹsẹ̀ ó sọ̀rọ̀.
this set of young, talented kids. These are kids that are from an orphanage. And a friend of ours took the responsibility to train these people in dance as a gift and also in education. There are 60 of them, but as I speak to you, recently, 26 out of them graduated from the University of Ibadan. And make you happy that the governor met with them earlier on, and he took it upon himself as a responsibility and said he will handle the school fees of the remaining students. Please, let's appreciate him one more time. Thank you very much, sir.
Congratulations, Ondo State tiwa ló jẹ́ o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ ṣe kó wà lè dára.